Now here's another inappropriate thought.
Right now, there's a bunch of people complaining about $5 gas, $10 orange juice, $13 bacon, and long TSA lines. But these same people don't do politics. Let's start the show.
Hey, before we go into the song, I know everybody love their mama, but I want to talk about something else first. I want to talk about the people that don't have their mama no more. Because we all sometimes forget to appreciate our mothers. But like my little homeboy Mutal, he don't got no mother today. While we all shedding smiles and being happy, they can't be happy because they don't got no mama. What, Danny Boy, he's singing off for all of y'all mama. Danny Boy out here making everybody feel good. He ain't got no mama to hug him. We got to get back to that old school shit where we all care for everybody and all of us raise all these kids because we all out of hand.
Mama, the house still leans where your laugh used to live. 11 long years, you gave all you could give. Strongest woman I knew, you made a way out of no way. Now I talk to your picture like you might answer today. And it hurts me, but you never got to see my future wife. My baby's on my knee. There's a hole in this family that time can't seal tight, and I still feel your hands in the dark of night.
I feel like an orphan.
I miss you, mama. Visit me in my dreams. Help me ease the pain and deal with this grief. Sometimes I hear your voice whispering soft things. I feel your arms wrap me in the wind, carrying me. Oh, I wonder if we failed you when the days got mean, when the tubes and the pills made a war out of the dream. But you stood in that fire with your head up high. Even when the pain came knocking, you would not say goodbye. And it hurts me that you won't meet them here. The woman I'll love, the grandchildren she'll bear. There's a room in this family that stays set apart, and I carry your name beating hard in my heart.
I feel like an orphan.
I miss you, mama. Oh, visit me in my dreams. Help me ease the pain and deal with this grief. Sometimes I hear your voice whispering soft things. I feel your arms wrap me in the wind, carrying me. Outside, I'll hold your strength like water. I'll hold it for my own till I build the life you prayed for, and I'm not standing here alone.
I feel like an orphan. I miss you, mama.
Visit me in my dreams. Help me ease the pain and
deal with this grief.
sometimes I hear your voice whispering soft things. I feel your arms wrap me in the wind, carrying me.
Yes, back like I never left from vacation, feeling revitalized, rejuvenated, ready to redeem and restore. and continue to walk and live in my purpose, man. Welcome back to another edition of Heavy on the R&B with your man K-Way. I'm the host. I go by K-Way. I'm your proprietor, your creator, the producer, all things K-Way of this show, where we discuss the rhythms and the blues of life. Hence the name, Heavy on the R&B, man. We dive into love, marriage, divorce, everything in between, and just, you know, general societal topics and things of substance. So, man, I'm just glad to be back from vacation. Took a week off. My fiance and I, we had already had this pre-planned. We try to take a vacation every quarter, just to reset every 90 days, because this world is nuts, especially in this country. So, man, it was good. Tried to pre-record this, you know, so you guys are getting this on Mother's Day. This is a very, very special day. I'll dive into that in a moment here. But yeah, that's another original song that I created. Those are my vocals this time. I can't, you know, really carry too many tunes, but I can do what I do, man. It's a very special day. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. And those of you that have lost your mother like me, I'm praying for you. You're in my spirit, you're in my heart. And, you know, I think everybody's mother, if you are doing something productive with your life, your mother is proud of you. And I know it doesn't take me to tell you that, but, you know, your mother's looking down on you. Whoever you are, whoever, you know, my voice may reach your ears. And if you lost your mother, my condolences. Keep going. Live a life that makes your mother proud. We'll get into that in a few. But yeah, man, just, you know, just took a week off. Wanted to just unplug. Wanted to get away. Wanted to get off the grid. And we had an amazing time. You know, turquoise waters and white sand. Man, I lived off red snapper, oxtails, and rum punch. So, man, if you've never been to Aruba, you gotta go. To me, that's my favorite place to go to in the Caribbean. I know, like Jamaica and DR and Bahamas, St. Lucia, which I have not visited yet, but we plan on going. But to me, I think the most slept on destination in the Caribbean is Aruba. Just very peaceful. They call it one happy island. The food is amazing. The people seem to be cool. You know, we never deal with any issues. The best stretch of beaches that I've seen. And I put that up there I put it past Anguilla, which is another beautiful place. Oh my God, if you ever get a chance to go to Anguilla, Bermuda, best beaches that I've ever seen next to Aruba. So definitely check that out. It was fun just being in a different time zone, being in a different world, just unplugging from everything. And yeah, you know, so yeah, I'll keep it there. Like I said, try to pre-record this. So this is us coming off that trip. Although we will be on another trip during the time Mother's Day roll around. So it dawned on me, man, I'm gonna just jump right into it. As I was driving through the Aruba streets, fun fact, they don't have no stoplights, all roundabouts. So you gotta kind of know how to navigate that. It's like a game of hopscotch. Do you get out there? Do you wait? Do you go? If you don't have a car that got good get up, like a V8, you know, or a 6-cylinder car, you may just want to wait and be cautious, because you can find yourself in a car accident. Thank God that I didn't. I know how to navigate those Aruba streets very well. Shout out to O'Neill's Caribbean Kitchen. To me, the best place to eat on the island. If you ever get a chance to go, you gotta go to O'Neill's Caribbean Kitchen. We went 3 times. I think the first time I had oxtails and rasta pasta with a few rum punches. The second time I had the red snapper. I didn't need to add nothing. Just squeeze the lime on there. It was seasoned to perfection. Of course, with rum punch and a side of oxtails. And then lastly, I had the lamb chops with a side of oxtails and rum punch. It's just amazing. Flying Fishbone, another great restaurant. You literally can look over the water, the ocean, the Caribbean Sea, and you can see Venezuela. That's how close it is. Man, where else? Zero-Over. Man, they go out there, they catch the fish, snapper and mahi or was it salmon steak tuna? I think one of them fish. It was like, they got a fish a day. They got the shrimp, real shrimp too, big old shrimp. Still got the tail and all that stuff on there. So they catch it straight out the ocean, fry it, season up real good. So yeah, man, a few places we ate, very good. Dutch Pancake House, very, very good. Just a good time. But anyways, man, I'm hungry again. I went to the gym when I got back. I got out the sauna smelling like rum punch and oxtails. Had to decompress and get that stuff out of my system. But anyways, so yeah, as I was driving, it just dawned on me, man, like what am I doing, with my purpose? What am I living for? What am I giving my time to? So I just decided to scale way back on distractions and invest my time and money into myself. Like I don't even share some of the things that are going well. I'm down nearly 46 pounds. And it took a lot to get that weight off. Being depressed, going through, and I'll get into that in a minute. What I was going through, overeating, emotional eating, putting on that weight. It was a lot. It was, I had body insecurities, having to buy bigger clothes. These are things that males, I don't want to reduce it to males, that people go through. So, I want to really get back to walking in my purpose and, continue on my trajectory. So moving forward, I'm limiting myself to just like what I ingest. I want to put a filter over my mind. I think we do enough of that with our pictures. We make sure that the pictures look good, the angles, the lighting, but few people put filters over their mind. And, I want to do that from what I'm ingesting. Now that I'm eating better physically, I want to also make sure that I'm eating better on a spiritual and emotional level. So just trying to limit the negative things that I indulge in, whether that's a YouTube channel, being in YouTube comments. I support a lot of channels, sometimes drop a lot of bread. And I just wonder what can I do if I invest and turn around and put that in myself? And that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I think it's important to get from the daily rigors of complacement and just the gossip of everything, because it really don't benefit me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I just want to make sure that I'm living and leading a life that on this Mother's Day that my mother is proud of, as well as God. So that's what I'll be doing moving forward, man. The wedding is approaching fast. It's May. The wedding is in October, so I want to make sure that I'm my best physical self, best spiritual and emotional. I want to be fit, financial, all aspects of life. So I'm gonna just take time to dedicate myself to that. Audiobooks, man. I was on the plane. The one thing about when you fly from the West Coast to the Caribbean, it's very tough to get out there. So you got to have something to to entertain you. And, music is in a weird place right now. So, I'll listen to my R&B playlist and the rappers that I mess with. Like I listen to Isaiah Rashad's album. It's amazing. I listen to AZ's album. Amazing. For him to be rapping that well at it. And that just shows you that age means nothing in this world. Like, man, if you got skill, you got skill. But I realized I pay monthly for Audible memberships, and I had so many credits. So I just started downloading books. And right now I'm listening to a book called Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. And so far so good. It's a really, really good listen. It's an easy listen. And yeah, I suggest you all go check it out or invest your time in something where you could do the same. So for me, I want to do that. Diving into audiobooks. I am indulging into a new language. A few months ago, I started my journey of finding out, where do I come from? I know I'm born here in the States. I moved around a lot. I was born in Berrien Springs, Michigan, then lived in Chicago for a stint, in South Bend, Indiana, and then we moved to Atlanta. Decatur. I know they don't like to say they're the same places. to be exact. Decatur was greater. And then moved back to South Bend, Indiana, and then moved to Indianapolis. And then went away to college, went to a school in Southern Illinois, went to Phoenix, went to Texas A&M, then went to University of Kentucky, where I graduated from, and then moved back home and taught I was a teacher for about 2 years, and a damn good one at that. But I didn't like the way that they were censoring me and really trying to just do dumb things. Like, you don't start Black history with slave. Your Black history to me starts with Mansa Musa, something great. Really, Black history starts with Jesus, but we'll talk about that another day. So, from there, moved back, 2 bags and $48. Y'all know the story. Moved to Phoenix and fell on hard times, was homeless, but pulled myself up out that situation, and then moved to Houston. Was there almost 10 years, and then now I'm here in San Diego. So, I know where I come from. I know what has like molded me, and I know that aspect of it, but I wanted to know my roots. So I did this thing called African Ancestry. If you have not done this, if you are a person from the diaspora, if you Black, you really want to know where you come from, go to AfricanAncestry.com, order your kit. The Matcher clan is on your mother's side. The Patcher clan is for your father, on your father's side. So I did my mother's side first. And actually, let's start with my father, because then I want to kind of tie this to Mother's Day. So on my father's side, we are Nigerian. So his side of the family came over here from Nigeria. We are part of the Yoruba tribe. And, there's a lot of history. My father was a part of the first integrated kindergarten classroom in the 60s at his elementary school. I believe it was Central Elementary School. I'm gonna have him on my pod. We'll talk about that. But then they had a Great Northern Migration. His mother, my grandmother, she moved north to South Bend, where racism was a little lighter. Yeah, it still existed, but it wasn't as bad. And then moving to where South Bend is where University of Notre Dame is. My school, my favorite college football team. Watched them, been supporting them all my life, lifelong fan, and will forever be a lifelong fan. But they actually ran off the Klan on their campus. That's a fun fact people don't know. So it was great to and I share and when you do the test, this is for your whole family. So I did it for my whole family, my sister, my aunts, his sisters, his brothers, everybody that shared that bloodline. That's for the whole family, and that's on that side. That's where we come from. We Nigerian. So I did my mom's side as well. And man, this is very interesting to find out, because I guess the way that I look, people always assume that I always been told, like, man, are you Dominican? Are you East African? Like, nah, I'm just a nigga as far as I know. I mean, that's what I used to say in my ignorant days. But nah, and when I did the test, it came back my mother's side. So I'm Sierra Leonean on my mother's side. And we are from the Mende tribe, and they came over here on the ship in 1839, I believe, on the Amistad. And so Sierra Leone used to be a part of, I believe it's Libya, and then they split, and they had their own country. This is way back, way back. Sort of how Egypt and Eritrea. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. So they split, and that's what drove me to take French now. I took French in high school, and I always had an infatuation with the language. And lo and behold, I think God placed it on my heart, because that's where I come from. That's the language spoken in Sierra Leone. That's their national language. And we got citizenship in play. Got the provisional, but I will be pursuing to get that real citizenship. So. Not that provisional isn't, but yeah, man. So, and I don't know a lot about my mom's side of the family. And I've said this before, if you like from my era where it was like, okay, what goes on in this house stays in this house. We gonna keep our business to ourselves. Everything is just gonna be like tight knit. So, Yeah, man, I found out, and I'm very proud to say that. I'm very proud to know that I am Sierra Leonean and Nigerian, and I know the tribe and the ships and the years that we came over here from. So yeah, if you're interested to know your actual roots and you want to connect and you want to go, the citizenship route, man, get started. Go to AfricanAncestry.com. This is a free ad for them, and trace your roots. Find out where you come from. It's important to know. And also, a lot of African countries are welcoming Black Americans back to Africa, to the continent, and a lot of them are offering pathways to citizenship. So once again, go to AfricanAncestry.com, trace your roots, know where you come from, and start your journey. And yeah, so moving on. So I want new experiences, travel vlogs. I want to make content with substance. And on this Mother's Day, I'm honoring my mother because she instilled that into me. My mother, she always wanted me to create a life that was better than the one she gave me. And she gave me a great life. My mother my mother and father both worked multiple jobs. They were together all my life. They were married, over 35 years, ups and downs, we'll talk about that another time, but they set a good example the best way they could. They shared the knowledge. They shared what the knowledge that they had at that time. So I know that their lives were better than their parents, and that's what I want to do moving forward. So man, just giving glory to God and honoring my mom on this Mother's Day. I want to dedicate this episode to her. She's the strongest woman that I will ever know. And I think the thing about losing my mom, man, that I've learned in all of this is she's still here. It could be the way the wind blows. It could be like just a little voice or something subtle. And I notice her because I try to connect with her as often as I can. I haven't done it in a while, and I'm gonna do a better job of that. That also falls into not dealing with so many distractions and, just really tapping in and staying grounded. Like I said, my mom was like super strong. She fought cancer for 11 years, and then a lot of people, when you get, so originally the doctors told my mom she had 6 months to live. And initially my mom was like, well, you don't really determine that. And a lot of people go the opposite way. They'll sulk, they'll kind of get down on themselves, but nah, man, like my mom, she said, I'm gonna live my life to the fullest. And that woman did everything she could. She traveled to Spain. Her and my dad would take these trips. They went everywhere, man, all through the Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, everywhere, man. Like, and it would be a struggle sometimes because she would get sick, because also my mother was dealing with a rare cancer. She also had diabetes. So she had two things working against her. Sometimes she just didn't have the energy to get out of bed on vacation, but she still went. And she never really complained. Even with her female friend group, when they went on girls trips, she would tag along, and she would let them know, like, I'm okay, I'm just tired, y'all gonna enjoy yourselves. So she was very selfless and had a big heart, and she just wanted to live life to the fullest. And that's how she raised me, man. After Saturday mornings, when I get done cleaning up the house and doing my chores, and she's playing BBD and SWV and everything, we would get in the car and go to the mall, and she buying new clothes and man, just whatever we needed or things we didn't need. Valentine's Day, my mother showed me, it's almost like she was showing me that a woman can treat a man well too. Even on Valentine's Day, man, like my mom would always give me some kind of necklace, a watch, cologne. I remember the first Valentine's Day, I remember her getting me something. She bought me the Michael Jordan cologne. At the time, I thought it smelled amazing. As an adult, nah, it shit smelled like a WNBA locker room while they on their cycles. Like, it don't smell good. She got me a Bulls watch, and she got me a 14 karat gold Bulls necklace. So, man, I think she just set the standard. Not saying that like I'm driven by gifts or nothing like that, but it's like the little things, man. Like my mom, I never went without. Now, we wasn't rich. At times I thought we were, because my dad was a hustler. He was a street hustler, street pharmaceutical. He had a PhD in street pharmaceuticals, and we'll talk about that at another time. So But it got to the point where my mom was like, you know, something happened. Let's just say, at school, at my elementary school, I got pulled out of class and questioned by some authorities, and that was the final straw for my mom. She literally, you know, packed up, left. We moved from South Bend to Indianapolis, basically gave my dad an ultimatum, and my dad left the streets. And moved back to Indianapolis with us. And yeah, man, we just, you know, we life changed. When you go from Jordans and lobsters to K-Swiss and Red Lobster on occasion, you kind of notice it. You know, when you go from man, you know, Guess was hot at the time, and going to Crisscross concerts, to going to the Free Festival during the Indiana Black Expo, like you kind of notice things change. Still good, you know, we still have more than most, but you know, as I'm adult now, I understand what happened. So, you know, shout out to my dad, man, the best that did it and never got away with it. And you know, I have his Father's Day episode loaded as well. But yeah, man, back to honoring my mom. Like I said, she just was a fighter. You know, my mom went through a lot of trials and tribulations in her life. You know, having a father that was a Rolling Stone, having a mother that was committed to a religion more than her own kids. She was Jehovah's Witness. And, you know, my mom somehow made it up out of that and made a way for her life. And she traveled, she saw the world, she shared, you know, what she had. Man, she's just an incredible woman. And I'm so grateful that I had her for 33 years. Yeah, I think let me see, it's 2026 now. I lost my mom in 2018. I'm blessed to say I had her for 33 and a half years. And I know I'm still surviving off her prayers, and I know she's still looking down, and she's proud. She's proud of the way that I've picked myself up from my bootstraps. You know, the funny thing is, grief doesn't pick and choose like when to target you. Nobody's exempt from grief. It just shows up unannounced. And dealing with that, you know, the way that my mom passed. So you all know the story. She passed a week before my wedding. My mom passed October 23rd. I got married November 3rd, and we were having a destination wedding. So, you know, it ain't like we could have changed. In hindsight, I should have just halted it. That's probably one of the regrets that I have. I should have just stopped and not went through with it. And I probably could have saved myself a lot of time, energy, and money. Also a lot of emotional stress. So, you know, that happened. And when she passed, it was like I was just trying to distract myself from everything. That's kind of how I was getting through it. But I remember the day of the wedding, and, you know, we all in the hotel room, me and the groomsmen, we're getting dressed, and everything was cool, man. Everything was solid. I get to the actual place where we getting married at, on the resort, on the rooftop balcony, and I don't know, man. I don't know what came over me. I just broke down, and, you know, thank God those brothers, they was there to hold me up. And, you know, they prayed for me, but it was like, it dawned on me like, damn, I think I was in denial up until then. We wasn't going to get it to do that first dance, because even when she was in hospice or transitioning, you know, I was flying back and forth from Houston to Indianapolis. And prior to that, she was living in Houston with me because we was trying a new route. You know, she went to the Houston Cardiac Association. Shout out to Dr. Montgomery, man. I'm forever grateful for you, because you gave my mother longer, you know, because that summer of 2018, she was in grave condition, but he put her on a raw food fast. I didn't understand it. I didn't know nothing about it. I really wasn't into healthy eating at that point in time, but she went on a 28-day raw food fast, and a lot of her ailments were reduced. You know, she went from taking to like 15, 17 pills a day to like 2. And, you know, she still had her diabetes though, and that's kind of what really kicked everything off, you know. And then when she had an episode, I'll never forget this. She she was living with me, so I went and checked on her in her room, and she wasn't responsive. And so, you know, I kind of woke her up, and she got up, she tried to go to the bathroom, and she just fell out. And, you know, she kind of just started shaking, and I didn't know what was going on. So I I picked her up and put her on the bed, and damn, it's kind of hard reliving some of this. So I picked her up and put her on the bed, and man, that shit was scary. But, you know, I guess I acted fast and called the ambulance, and they came and they revived her, and they took her to the hospital immediately and admitted her, and turned out that her kidney had failed. So they put her on dialysis, and yeah, man, it's really tough it's like really the first time I'm talking about it. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but yeah, man. So once she woke up and she figured out that she was on dialysis, she wasn't having it. She was like, man, I want out. And I think the hardest thing to do is trying to convince somebody to live when they're tired. You know, now that the dust has settled, and I understand, you know, now she was tired, man, dealing with that shit for 11 years. She fought for that long. And it was selfish of me to think that, you know, she was going to make it out. And only thing I was worried about was the wedding. Like, nah, mom, we got to dance. Cause my mom was like an incredible dancer. My mom was a type, she used to go skating with me when she was 9 months pregnant. Very musically inclined. My mother could sing, she could skate, she could dance. Like, she had that old 70s smoothness like about her. And it's funny. I think that's what her and my dad matched. I think that's what attracted her to my dad. Cause my dad is like an old like player, you know, like from the Himalayas, like Jerome. Not as corny as Jerome, but he just smooth, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has a way with words. He's very chill. You ain't never gonna see him sweat. He's a man's man. He leads with respect. He demands respect, but he's like, he a smooth nigga. Like, and my mom, she had a smoothness about her. Like, they just kind of like, you know, slow motion. But she's like serious at the same time. Like, she'll punch you in your shit. I seen her do it. So yeah, man. You know, she's in dialysis, and it was tough seeing her do that. Was it twice? 2 or 3 times a week for 4 hours a day. I had the home dialysis people come to my house in Houston, and they had the machine, and it was loud, and they're cleaning her blood and stuff. And she had like the incision tube in her like upper shoulder, and I could just tell, man, she was tired. And I'm like, nah, man, hold on, you know, cause me, I kind of got that irrational confidence, but at the same time, I ain't never fought no illness for 11 years, and I pray to God I never have to, because I don't know how she did it, and that's why I say she's the strongest woman I will ever meet. So, you know, the wedding and all of that happened, and then she's going through dialysis, and then eventually she was like, you know what, I want to go back home. I want to go back to my home. I don't really, you know, want to impose this, that, and the third. And I'm like, nah, man, you good? Like, you know, you're my mother. You can stay here. But, you know, they made the decision to go back home. And I think, man, this was like probably like late August. I get a call, or like the first week of September. My dad was like, you need to come home, man. She's back in the hospital, and you need to come see her. It's not looking good. So I go back up there in September, and yeah, you know, I think it started to settle in. But even still, I'm in denial. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll make peace. Like, she ain't gonna make the wedding. Okay, I made peace with that. But we're gonna live stream it on Facebook Live, and you're gonna be able to watch it. I'm still not getting it. It's not registering in my head. And yeah, I think so. No, it was like late September. So I think no, actually it was early September, and then I got back to Houston, and then my dad was like, you need to come back up here and say your final goodbyes. And you know, that was a long plane ride home. It was lonely. I don't know. I went up there and it's still in denial. Like, nah, she'll be all right. Like, nah. And then this time they moved her to the house that I grew up in, and our family home, and she's in hospice. She's in the middle of the living room in the hospice bed, peacefully, but she's just lifeless. And I remember when I was leaving, because I had to get back home, and I feel bad. I should have just stayed there. I remember saying my last goodbye, and she moved, and she made a sound in her face, like it was smiling. And I squeezed her hand, and I felt her squeeze back, and I don't know. It's like she was just saying, like, it's okay, So I get back home, and man, I got off the plane that day. Shit, man, it's October 23rd. I probably landed at like 11 a.m. I get a call about 1:15. My sister was like, she gone. As soon as I picked up, I heard it in her voice. And yeah, man, damn, that's what happened. So dealing with that, and then it was like a range of emotions. I buried my mom, or my mom died. I get married. The funeral is that Friday, the following Friday, like November 7th. So eulogizing her. I think what I remember about it was all a blur. What I remember about the funeral is it was powerful. People told me, I was like, man, you should be a pastor. I'm like, nah, that ain't the calling I want on my life. And to this day, I still cannot watch the video of me speaking at my mom's funeral and eulogizing her. But I do remember it was an out-of-body experience. And I do remember bringing people to their feet. And, because I'm like my dad, I have a way with words, but I still can't watch it to this day. But leading up to that day, that week, just the funeral and everything, viewing the body, it was tough, man. It was tough. And the thing about grief is I still deal with that sometimes. And like I said, it comes and it goes, and it don't choose you. And this is the first Mother's Day where I'm actually able to physically speak about this stuff. And this happened 8 years ago now. What, right? Yeah, it's 2023. Now it's 2018. Now it's 2026. Yeah, about 8 years ago. Or it'll be coming up on 8 years ago. So, like last Mother's Day, I was just kind of like blank to it. I smoked and drank my way out of all of that. But this Mother's Day, I haven't had a smoke or a drink in prior to going to Aruba, had been 54 days. So, and that's another reason why a lot of the weight came off and why I wanted to get back to my purpose. So yeah, it's I guess it's therapeutic to talk about this stuff, but also honor my mom and the legacy that she left, and the legacy that will continue to live on. And I'm gonna make sure it lives on by just living a righteous life. I got plans, so many plans, scripts and books that I'm currently writing, and man, just so much stuff that I'm doing to honor her name, and gonna name it after her. And to do all those things, I have to free myself from things that don't serve me. So, man, if you support me, keep on supporting me. If you don't, because I'm not making the kind of content that you desire, no harm, no foul. But I'm not apologizing for living the righteous life to make God and my mom proud on his Mother's Day. Because at times I feel like an orphan. It's a lonely life to live a life without a mother. I don't even, probably the closest mother figure I have is my therapist. I have a future mother-in-law, and I want to do a better job of getting closer to her. But I've been closed off a lot because just not having that motherly figure, not having any grandparents, not having any aunties, not having any female cousins. My sister, that's it. But there's a hole in the family. Like I said in the song, there's a hole in this family. And everybody just kind of does their own thing. And I think by me being the middle child and the values that my mother and my father instilled in me, I think maybe it's time for me to start planning things and bring the family back together. So that goes back to the distractions. I could be doing that rather than sitting in YouTube chats talking shit. following the latest gossip and hip hop news and whatever it is, watching shows that have no purpose or serve me no meaning. I could be doing that. And I think she kind of been tugging on my heartstrings to actually, get me to do that. So that's what I'm gonna do, man. Like I said, she instilled those values in me, taking pride in your work, man. Like my mom, I remember in high school, I'm big shit at this time. My ego, I'm smelling myself. I'm the state record holder. Everybody know I'm about to go to state and clown. I'm about to win at least three first places at state, which I did. 4x4, long jump. And then went on, went on to win the Midwest Meet of Champions and the Nike High School National Championship. And I'm, at this time I'm clowning, like not like in class, but I mean like on the track. Like you couldn't touch me. Like I'm walking niggas down. There was a track meet where we got in 4x4. Our lead off leg ate a burger before the 4x4. And we was in 8th place. And when I tell you I walked everybody down and ran a 46-second split, I did from last to first. So at this time, like, I'm like, cool. Mom's had a rule, man. When I get home, cause she used to work late. When I get home, I don't want no dishes in the sink. I must have came in and I washed the dishes, but I left the cup in the sink because I think I got some water. This woman woke me up at 2 a.m. She sprayed water on my face and was like, "Didn't I tell you to have to wash the dishes?" I said, "I did." She said, "There's a cup in the sink." She said, "I don't care how many records you break. I don't care, how good you think you are. You always gonna take pride in your work, and these values are gonna last with you throughout your life." And to this day, it does, man. I take pride in my work. Like whatever I do, I try to do it to the fullest extent, man. And that's, man, I remember playing in my probate in college. Like I was like, nah, we not wearing this. we not coming out to this song. Like it's the littlest things. Like I take pride in my work, man. I walk fast. That's just how I am, man. Like my mom instilled all those things. Be purposeful. Take pride in your work. My mom had a crazy work ethic. And I think this is where I got it from. She was also a straight shooter, but she was also responsible and respectful. She instilled all of those values into me, the hustler mindset, but also caring about causes that are bigger than yourself, because both of my parents are from the civil rights era and they all had the part in whether in integrated classrooms or physically marching, so I find comfort in all of that, knowing that she's looking down proud of me. And we all are just surviving off our parents' prayers. And I thank God my mom prayed for me and continues to pray for me and get me out of sticky situations, because I know it ain't nobody but her and God to help me get out of the things that I've been through. Before I wrap up, I'll touch on this. So right after my mom passed, like it was like a honeymoon period. If anybody been married, it's just kind of a honeymoon period. You on cloud nine, like, yeah, I love you, whatever. But shit got bad. Shit got real bad. And I found myself in a marriage with an absent partner and dealing with that grief along with, remember 6 months, I told y'all a few episodes ago, 6 months after my mom passed, my grandfather passed. And then 2 months after that, my auntie passed. They found her, she overdosed in the alley. And then my grandmother, her mother passed, who I didn't really have a relationship with, but it was a lot. So you couple that with just trying to get over the woman that brought me into this world. Like I fell into a deep, dark depression. Very deep, very dark, to the point where I tried to take my own life. And the only reason I'm here on this podcast talking to y'all is because the gun that I tried to use was old, and literally when I pulled the trigger, it fell apart, springs and everything, poked me in the side of the eye. I was listening to Walter Hawkins' "I'm Going Away" at that time. I was drinking heavy. I was in my office. Meanwhile, my ex-wife is in the next room. In the next room, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I kind of felt alone. I didn't feel like I had anything to live for. And I'm drinking E&J and I'm chasing it with Capricios. Capricios are bad for you. Don't drink them. It's like Four Loko. But I'm taking shots of E&J. This is like the worst. I'm on the ground, really not trying to be here no more, man. And I just remember putting that rusty ass 380 to my head and trying to end it. And when I'm telling you, man, when I pulled the trigger, that shit just fell apart. Nothing happened. The springs came out, the bearings, the trigger broke, like nothing happened. I don't even think nothing was in the chamber because it was an old ass gun. It was my dad's old gun. And man, I'm here. I know my mom did something. She had something to do with that, man. And that's just how, I don't know, that's just how I believe like we are all surviving off our moms or fathers, just our parents' prayers. And I know that I have a purpose. And tying it all together, I just want to get back, kind of to that purpose. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be indulging in too much of the monotony of every day and negativity, because it don't mean nothing, man. Like when I think about the shit that I overcame being homeless, from episode 1 where I talked about it, to the grief that still comes and goes, attempted suicide. I'm here. I'm down nearly 46 pounds, yo. Like I'm here. Like what am I doing? I'm not about to get sidetracked for nobody. Like, and I don't really care to have a large following. I kind of like being underground. I like who like me, so if this message reaches your ears, then, I hope it impacts you in some kind of way. But yeah, man, I just want to honor my mom. Happy Mother's Day. I know that you are still the rock and the light that's shining down on me and my siblings and I. We miss you very much. I know my dad does as well. He'll never have another woman like you. Maybe I'll talk about that another day. But there'll never be another you, Mom, man. I love you and I miss you. Same goes for my sister and my brother. And we're going to continue to live in your name and honor your legacy. And it's straight like that. But, I know, man, before I go, Lord, I would be irresponsible if I didn't touch on, certain topics. And I want to talk about like what's really going on in our country. And, I don't think a lot of people are in a position to say, I don't play politics anymore. To me, I think that's a cop-out. And saying that you don't play politics, to me, is a cop-out for you being too lazy to do the research to actually be educated and speak on the politics. And you don't have to be an expert. I'm not an expert, but I do know that we are beyond talking about politics, where I think we are in a position where this is right and this is wrong. And excuse me, sorry. I spoke on this a few episodes ago about with Killer Mike. I love Killer Mike, but I'll never forget what he did to Stacey Abrams. And I feel like he let his misogyny take over his will, his positive will. Like he was raised by grandparents. He got that Southern wisdom in him. Like I know, like you seen your grandmother fight the good fight. Why would you do that, black woman? Why would you do those black women like that? Like you all buddy with Governor Kemp, but with Stacey Abrams and Kamala, like you was giving them grief and saying what you ain't gonna do. And now look at you trying to galvanize people to put out a fire that you helped start. So I really don't understand that at all. And I just want everybody to take it serious. And the what they did with the Voting Rights Act of 1965, they gutted it. And so before 2013, like certain states and counties they had a history of racial discrimination, and they were required to pre-clear any changes to their voting laws with the federal government before they could take effect. I think that was installed in 2015. And it was supposed to be umbrella, like this falls under everything. So what happened was the Supreme Court struck down Section 4B, And with that, they basically formulated the use of or non-pre-clearance. So you don't have to do that anymore. So basically it became like a dead letter or a dead bill. So now you pretty much can do what the hell you want to do. And what they're doing is they're targeting all the black areas in these southern states because they know like that could help potentially swing an election. And that, I mean, you look at Atlanta when they turn, or not Georgia, when they almost turn blue. Like, I mean, those are the county, those DeKalb, Gwinnett, like those black areas. That's what's starting to happen. Texas is right there. They got a real shot at turning blue. Right now, I feel like they purple, but with these gerrymandering and them gutting the Voting Right Act, it's setting us back. And I know our people didn't march in the 60s and then went to war in the 70s to fight in a war that we had nothing to do with, for our rights, for people to sit here and say, I don't play politics. And it's crazy, man. Like, I'm sorry, Drake and Kendrick ain't gonna get you your voting rights. I love Kendrick to death, and he speaks on this, but I'm pro people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shitting on nobody that covers all of this, but I'm just saying, like, man, there's a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? All of this works together. The reason why Drake is able to get away with some of the things that he's getting away with is because he's aligned with MAGA. And it's one thing to come after your right of free speech in a hip hop battle, and it's another thing where you don't have the right to vote and overturn that now. Like, y'all don't see what's going on because y'all are too focused on the surface instead of getting to the root. This ain't the time to say I can't play politics. That's lazy, and you're lazy. Educate yourself. Stand for something. And furthermore, a hip hop battle ain't gonna listen, man. I love hip hop. I love everything positive about it. And I'm probably the biggest Kendrick fan in the world, and I'm probably one of the biggest Drake haters. But neither one of them niggas are paying my bills or dying for my sins. And that's what we gotta get back to. And if you listen to Kendrick's music, he's telling you that. He said, I'm not your savior. So, like, what are we doing? We could sit here on the internet and talk shit all day. We could comment all day. How is that moving us forward? Nobody has the right or the opportunity, and let me not say the right, but nobody should feel comfortable right now just sitting on the sideline saying I don't play politics. It's not that time. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about right and wrong. And okay, you don't want to play politics? How about you play these five now gas is $5 a gallon. Now TSA lines is longer than the flight because you don't want to play politics. We ain't talking about blue versus red or Democrats versus Republicans. Kendrick call them Republicans. So we talking about right versus wrong now, man. And I think we got to get back to that on a human level. Educate yourselves. What they just did with the Voting Right Act is crazy. The author of Project 2025 has a PhD in African American studies. He literally studied our culture to infiltrate it and use it against us. And they're doing it in plain sight. And you niggas talking about you ain't got time to play politics. Wake up. Because I know for me and mine, we gonna be all right. I told you the steps that we taking. I'm not bound to America. You know, we got capital to move. So I really don't have to be sitting here trying to tell y'all this. But like I said, we all are surviving, tying it back in off of our parents and our ancestors' prayers. And I owe that to myself to be the change that I want to see in others. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So, man, from my mouth to your ears, I really hope this episode touched you. I hope it, impacts you and kind of gets everybody galvanized to at least take the step in saving humanity. Politics aside, this is about right and wrong. And a lot of what's going on right now is wrong. But anyway, man, I'm out of here. See y'all next week. Please put value in yourself so we can put value in each other, and we'll have a value society. Peace.